Hello YouTube, this is Harrison Ormson with Ormson Aquarium Design. Today I'm going to be going over dirted tanks, in particular uncapped dirted tanks because I have one right here. And I'll be going over the pros and cons, how to do it basically, and what people do wrong and what people do right.
Alright guys, this is my dirted tank. I started this up a few months ago on kind of a whim, and I moved it, so a lot of stuff had to be done to make sure it still was functional, basically. And dirted tanks are good because they give you a very natural source of fertilizer for your plants and a really good rooting substrate. And most of the time when people do this, it's a capped dirted tank because it's just a lot easier. I wanted to do something new, so I thought I was, groundbreaking, and I did an uncapped dirted tank. And it turns out uncapped dirted tanks are not as easy at all and kind of not as good as capped dirted tanks. And the reason for that is they're really dirty and you lose a lot of nutrients very fast. In a capped dirted tank, you have sand or gravel that holds everything, including the organic material that you want in the dirt, down. When you have an uncapped dirted tank, that stuff can get stirred up and separate, and you'll lose nutrients very fast. Alright, so the pros of a dirted tank that's uncapped. Your tank will have a very natural look and feel to it because you have something that's very similar to what's found in a natural aquatic ecosystem. You have a mixture of sand, silt, and clay, and you have the organic material that happens naturally in nature and builds up to fertilize those plants. Another con or pro would be you don't have to go out and buy things. You can do this yourself. You can take dirt from your backyard if it's the good stuff. You can take topsoil is what is usually the best. Sometimes you want to mix some clay in there for iron, some other things, and you put it in your tank, basically, is what I did, and you don't have to buy anything. So that's good. Also, nutrients will leach into the water and help to fertilize things like Anubias, Java fern, Bulbidus, mosses, stuff that don't root into the substrate. Then you have your cons. So the downsides of doing an uncapped dirted tank are it's going to be very dirty and you're going to lose nutrients very fast if you do the normal tank motions like powered filter and water changes, basically. So the reason for this is with a filter like that, you have constant water motion, and that water motion is going to pick up little pieces of dirt and deposit it all over the tank, and I'll show you that in a minute, and it just doesn't look good. And then you'll be losing nutrients because when the nutrients leach into the water, you just end up taking them out with water changes, which isn't good. You should have plants in there to absorb them over time, which is why the best way to do this is the Wallstad method. If you're not familiar with that, that's basically using just plants to filter your water. I've done it very successfully in other tanks, and I think this uncapped dirted method would be perfect for a Wallstad tank. I'm actually planning on doing one in a 20 long to breed guppies for some of my bigger fish to eat, and I think it's going to go great. So my suggestions for a good uncapped dirted tank would be sponge filters, no power filters, plants definitely to hold the substrate down, and low light would definitely be good. I'm planning to do basically a big cryptocorn tank with lower light, maybe a sponge filter, probably no filtration at all, and just a bunch of guppies and snails and stuff. So yeah, those are the kind of basics of uncapped dirted tanks. And yeah, so if you guys have any questions, leave in the comments section. If you guys have any suggestions for videos from me, let me know. Please subscribe, give me a like, and now I'm going to show you a video of some stuff in the tank. Alright guys, here's the uncapped dirted tank. So yeah, it's got this big piece of spiderwood, some slate thrown in there, a little piece of driftwood, and some African or Indian almond leaves are in there. And for the plants, I have this dwarf lily. I thought it was going to be a tiger lotus, but they sent me the wrong plant. This is a Crinum calamastratum, African onion plant. It's really awesome. They get really big and they just fill up a lot of middle tank space. Then we've got some Anubias Barteri var Barteri right here, and that's kind of what I was talking about with the dirt. It just kind of settles on there. It's really ugly. And then that's more serious version of the dirt right there. These two are the Anubias Coffeefolia, and here we have some more dirt and algae settling on these. These are Bulbatus, which is African water fern, basically the same thing. I think there's 4 of those in there. That one's really puny. And there's another one down there. Then this crypt that I just planted in there like an hour ago. It was in my planted tank and I didn't want it in there anymore. But yeah, this tank has the power filter. That's why the water and the dirt gets blown around and it's ugly. And then if I can find them, nah, they don't want to be found right now. But in here there are 2 leopards and abomas, or African spotted leaf fish, whatever you want to call them. But they're a really cool little perch variation. And they got really big mouths. They get about 6 inches. And they love it in here. During the day, they'll come out and hide under stuff and eat random things. But they're really cool fish. But yeah, so that's my uncapped dirted tank. Hope you guys liked the video.